Which one do you want to start with?
First one is Lance Johnson. You have your packet and the ability to read over it. Questions, concerns?
Okay, so this is the one that the guy talked about, the assessed value from a like parcel.
This is the fourplex.
Yeah, but it's not. Are all of these four fourplex, are all of them the exact same? That would be the question.
We made an adjustment on these.
Mhm.
I think we have it right here. We did talk to these and we did make an adjustment. Adjusted them on, let's see. We adjusted some on the land and it says values were reduced. We reduced several of them in this neighborhood. This is the one that Jason just got them doing.
Yeah, it's one of the
And we ended up bringing them down quite a bit.
Did they agree to it, talk to it? Did you talk to them at all, or, and they were okay with that?
Well,
What?
we had a couple of people call and found that we had a problem on them.
Mm-hmm.
So we reduced those and trying to stay in equity, we reduced the others around them as well.
Okay, so you're doing the whole section then?
Yeah, and we will be reading that in, those others in.
So should we, Mr. Chairman, if they're going to do that for this whole section of these, would it be prudent then to just hold this one to read it at the same time? Because if you're making that suggestion.
Right. but-
Well, I just wondered if you have a value right now.
If you have it, yeah, we could read it right now if you have the value.
Yeah,
Okay, so
so now he did what you need.
but he did it on all those four boxes.
Yes, for the bill. I was, did it show the change?
Look at this.
Yeah,
If they have an appraisal.
Yeah,
So we
and you have
dropped it.
one of them, and they're all
Yes.
going to be the same if they're identical.
Total value, we dropped from 705,691 down to 509,380.
509. 380?
Yes, and I believe there was, how many of those were involved?
That's
in that?
40,000 below what they said.
16, yeah. It's,
It was a lot.
there were 16 different fourplexes there, I believe, that we had found that, yeah.
Those are all gonna be the same.
Yep.
Well, let's go ahead and read this one in
Just this
because
one?
we're,
Okay.
you have the appeal right here.
So-
And you can bring
And
the
then we'll
others
make sure the
before
others
us.
get read in. Yeah.
Do we have all of the parcel numbers then on this one?
I doubt it.
That's
Because that's
that's
the only
one that's
parcel number
appealed.
we have.
One, yeah.
We have one, but it'll be, okay, RPR PB2A0005000 be adjusted to 509,380. And was that adjustment on the land or on, or was it on just the improvement?
Just a
The
little.
improvement.
So-
On the improvement.
I thought he adjusted the land value too.
You can double check.
Well, that's what it said.
Okay, all right, then it could have been.
Because it says adjusted neighborhood to 30,000 because they had it on the wrong schedule.
So at both the land and the
So
neighborhood.
it's on
and the
both.
improvement.
On both, okay, to reflect both, it will be indicated by the assessor's office. Motion on the floor.
Yeah, we have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Well, and that appraisal was done in March of 2022, so when you guys backed that off, I mean, right now, yeah, they're 555 right now. But yeah, I get it as a January 509.
Right,
And actually, these ones, it might help. Rents, they're projecting, just as we're seeing it right now, rents are softening right now a little bit because there's been a bunch more dumped into the market. So you guys might not have to play with this for next year, hopefully. Or very minimal.
There's a listing that's about to hit the market, but they're asking $225 per unit.
Yeah.
And right now, with a lot of these multi-family parcels, we're seeing in the range of 100 per door on the low side to 125. So I don't know that
I don't think you'll get
you're
it.
going to get that.
I don't think you'll get
It'll
it.
be interesting to see, because that's probably the hottest, granted, this is a fourplex, and we look at those on the residential
Yeah.
side, 5 and up, we look on the commercial side, but in commercial, the hottest segment is multifamily.
Yeah. But it's also gonna be the segment that's gonna dump the hardest.
Next.
Next one is Orlando.
Okay, hold on, let me get to my Orlando one.
Reggiano. Reggiano?
Where's your?
What are you laughing at down there?
That was good.
I had pasta last night for dinner, so.
Fitting.
Do you have anything to add on this one?
I know for Orlando, I'm trying to look up the notes here on it. We did find that there were some corrections that we were able to make. And you see on the property record card, the value had gone from 367.28 down to 352.978.
So this is not a manufactured, this is a stick-built prefab.
Correct.
Okay, this doesn't have a HUD tag. This is a modular, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that would be in line. Mr. Chairman, on parcel number RPRPBAE000500, we take the assessor's recommendation for a total value of $352,978 to reflect a change of $85,250 on the land and $267,728 on the improvement.
Okay, we have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And then there was the other parcel also on land?
I'm trying to get it to pop. I've only shown the one.
Okay.
How did that go?
I just had the one.
You wanna run the clock, please?
We've only got- we only gave this
That
one
buzzer
parcel
got you the one time.
What's that?
For Orlando, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've only got one parcel number coming.
Okay, I have a form here that has,
Where's the other?
ends in 1200.
Yeah, the computer pack.
I
Oh,
see that.
that's under 1200. Ernie, is that RPR?
RPRP MMD 001200.
I do not have a form for that. I've
Nope.
got the assessment.
Let's
No, that's what I'm
let's have that one.
Increase.
Do you have an actual form? I used to get the assessment notice.
It's in the packet.
And I have to double check real quick, but they don't have this in there. Up on for each.
I don't even have a on the electronic copy that they had. I didn't even see an electronic one. Another. I only had one number that was appealed.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I have on the appeal form, on that appeal form. Then I just have I don't have another appeal form,
Just a tax.
but I have
An assessment
an assessment value with writing on it.
What does it say on it?
11,000 to 9,000.
And then increase 6,115 this year.
Oh, okay. I got the parcel that you're talking about. They have that. All right. Yeah, it's in the packet. So it jumped. It was a land value. It's a land parcel, city lot. You guys ready to search a parcel?
I'm getting ready right here.
You guys got it over there?
Okay, I can.
If you're
search
ready
now.
to search,
Yeah,
RPR PMMD 00120
sorry, hold on a second. It was RPR and I lost you.
D or PMM D 001200. It's just a bare land parcel that looks like it's contributed to the. Looks like it's a third of an acre.
Oh,
Okay.
Yep. Part of the property.
Okay, and it's at 17,000?
Yeah.
Okay,
17,233.
I'm just looking it up on the map here. It looks like it's a contiguous
Yep.
part, right?
It is.
Run down IT real quick.
Okay,
None of my drives are connected.
we've currently, let's say, it's currently in as a converted land value still at the 17,000, so it looks like it just went up the percentage of the, let's see. Sorry, this is a bit slow.
Nope, you're good.
So it looks like it's a converted land value, contiguous with the parcel, and it, what do they call it? It went up the 0.55%.
So it was just an automatic increase?
I believe that one was just, what do they call that, where you trend it?
Yeah, just a market trend.
Yeah,
now.
some of the ones that were, the land that was converted just got a trend.
So there were some of those last year. I'm trying to get down to that Mountain Meadows subdivision. There's a couple of those last year.
Have buildings on it.
That's what I was just gonna look.
If I remember right, those are the ones that
I'll
have,
look at that and see if I can get to that there. It looks pretty narrow to me.
yeah, that's, if I'm thinking right, that was the one that was the narrow, long lot that was it's part of his main property. And it should actually be valued, that third of an acre should be valued with the other continuous building asset. Is what,
As a contiguous
As a
parcel.
contiguous
rather than-
parcel.
That's what I was
rather-
thinking.
rather than the trended parcel.
I gotcha.
Because his primary parcel increased, correct?
It did.
So the thing is it doesn't have a separate building, right? I don't believe. You could build another house there because a lot of those, by the time they built, they went in, they couldn't put sewer or septic and all that other, because those are all on septics up there, correct? If I'm remembering up on, no,
$33,000.
yeah,
The other one.
what's
Their
that?
own septic, but
Yeah,
hooked up to
his-
city water.
33,000.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they made a little adjustment on the land. I would probably just keep that land value, that assessment land value is probably, because they hit it, because you got him for a land value, but the problem is they should have, and this is why I hate having these parcels separate, because it's not like you can break this parcel off, and, I mean, technically you could, but you couldn't do anything with it.
Right.
You might be able to build something on it, might be a tiny home, but I don't know if you could have a sewer or a septic or anything, because it's too small. I don't think because I think that's all on that Mountain Meadows. I think is that on septic or is that on sewer?
It has its own septic, but it's got, looks like it's on city water.
Sea water, but they don't have, yep.
Yeah,
So
septic.
you would have a question of building capability and capacity up there. Because I doubt the health department will allow them to have a sewer hookup. Or a septic, I mean, because it's too narrow, too small. So I would probably say that you just leave the land at last year's value and just, 'cause I wish there was a way that you could add,
And this is the challenge of not having them here,
yeah.
because you don't have the opportunity to talk to them in that manner, so. Because of the system that we're doing, and it's contiguous, I agree.
Mr. Chairman, I move on. The parcel that I said earlier,
I got it. RPMMD 001200. That we leave the value at last year's value of 11,118.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, then our next one is Galen Chandler.
Is this one from income?
Oh, more.
Lives in Chubbuck.
Just go.
She's right off the house anyway.
Okay. Well, I was trying to understand what she was saying about the property increased 141%. Okay, the land it did.
Contesting value of the property only. not contesting the outbuilding, just the land.
How much property? There's almost an acre there.
There's two of them.
On that one, and there's 1.97. This is one of those that's weird. You know those lots out there on Hawthorne, that they're city lots, but they're the big ones when Hawthorne used to be out in the country and now it's in the city and it's one of the remnant lots.
Yeah.
I mean, so you got 1.97 acres, and so there's basically 2.5 acres that's there.
And this is one that went to the state. And when?
So was it, and this is the problem, so are we valuing, well, I don't know if it's a problem or more of a question statement. Is this based upon, are we using a value table as a subdivision value table, like third acre lots that are being compared with it? Or is this being compared with like a rural residential?
The bigger lot or the one with the house on it?
Well, both of them. Are we using, because you have a subdivision right behind it, are we using that same table of land cost for the subdivision directly behind it? Or are we, because those are only, 0.2 acres around it, but their values, and these are last year's values. Last year's values were set at 50,000, and these ones are set at 36,000. And so what I'm asking is there's, right now, the way it sits, there's only one building right per lot unless they go in and they subdivide it with the city. And so that's what I mean is are we valuing this as rural residential?
It's not. It's being valued at the same as the
0.2 acre lots.
The 0.83 acres that the house sits on or whatever.
Well,
It's
even
under
that one, that's what I'm
Schedule
saying
3.
is
Yeah.
it's a bigger lot, and I get that. But are we using similar acreage properties to set the value, or are we using 0.2 acre tight subdivisions to set the value? Because this one went to the state, you said,
Yeah.
and this one got kicked back, and the state
2019.
the
and
state upheld the value.
They ruled in their favor.
Yeah, and that was, I remember this one coming, and that was the argument, is we're using subdivisions at 0.2 acre, or 0.2 acres, 50, 60, whatever those houses directly behind it are now, and applying the same value to them, and that's what the state said no. And that's
Okay.
why how are we, because that's what they're saying is if you have 0.2 acres, our land value and our trend value, they're doing a different thing, even though this is way more valuable than probably what they think.
Right.
Because I mean,
So a regular lot size in that area, what does it go for?
yeah, what's the runs directly to the west of it?
The lot next
Sorry, let me
to
look that up and see.
is 103,000 for the lot size. 0.81 of an acre, so 103 for 0.81. Next one is 0.81, it's at 100,000.
So what's this year's values on? This is, to tell you the truth, if you want to extrapolate and think about the easiest way to do it for the cost, and Jeff, you're right. I mean, the houses to the south of them, you have 103 and 100.
And there's one around the corner that's
100.
0.92 of an acre for 100,000, so.
They're all basically, they assigned all of those no matter what their acreage size are, because this one is an acre lot for 100 grand around the corner. All of them around the corner are all 100, and then your subdivision lots are a little bit different. So to tell you the truth on this one, as I start looking at that, that's actually in the land value is actually within value. It's a $100,000 lot. Now, that might be a little high, considering you're buying a Pidcock lot out in Income. You're a little bit different from the city, but you're in a rural residential subdivision. How much they selling lots out on Pidcock Road that they're buying right now? 150?
130,
130?
Yeah, about an average of 130.
How big are they?
two,
2.5?
2.5, something.
I think so.
So if you use that as a comparison, yeah, 100,000 right now, probably within.
And they're all septic and drill your 600 or 800 foot well.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. This is probably 100 grand. These, I would say that these two lots are within the.
Scope of what's around.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything else. Mr. Chairman, I would move on parcels.
Just a question here. So, one has the house on it, the other one must have an outbuilding.
Yeah, as a shop.
It has a
Uh, So is it landlocked, is it contiguous? I mean, that's a discussion.
So here's the main house, and then here's their other parcel right here. So they both have road access. They could develop both.
Okay, that was just my
Yeah,
question.
these
is-
are, and that's what I said. I was
couldn't tell by the
initially
bill.
thinking one was landlocked, but then you look at it, they're both buildable. I mean,
separate buildable lots.
I would go in.
That's why they were priced as, but
Yep.
you have note that they're contiguous, that they own to the same, but.
They're
it's a separate
contiguous,
buildable
and you
lot.
would, but you could go in right here, and you
Yeah.
could go.
From what I could see on this one, my map, it looked like that one might be landlocked. But that's what that was my
You do it.
question.
Mr. Chairman, I would move on parcels. Let's see here. Parcel numbers. Where'd that go? RPRCCPC 022531.
Is it 22 or 0255?
Oh, I was just reading what she had on her hand.
022531
Okay,
is correct.
Okay. And then the next one would be
32.
32.
25532.
Yep, 31 and 32. This, those indicated parcels that the assessed values be upheld.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Next one is Chris Trevelio.
Review. I had tacos the day before.
What's that?
I had tacos the day before.
I chuckled again.
There's two parcels. On this one,
105 Marsh Creek Road and 4072 North Marsh Creek Road. Okay. Okay. So when somebody writes me a thing and says, we bought it for this, but I think it's worth less. So either one of two things occurred. The house burned down, which apparently it doesn't, or people don't understand how a market works. Your free market, they had a sales price. When was the sales price, or when did these properties sell?
I think it was October
October
21.
of 2021.
Okay, so the sales price, we gave them a full sales price offer for both properties at $320. And at $320, what would your time adjustment be?
Sorry, I'm gonna look that up and I can,
Is it supposed to be March Creek?
you're saying that 320,000?
Marsh. With an
320.
S.
They sold it.
Okay.
They bought it in October. What's their time adjustment to January 1?
That would be 339,200.
There you go. I mean,
You know what it is?
March Creek? Wow, I don't know where March Creek is. Do you know where March Creek is?
I know, it looks like that was spelled wrong, wasn't it?
Sounds like Nevada.
320.
If you bought it for
Whoops.
if you bought it for $320 in October, and there's a time adjustment, it's going to be made. We would make a time adjustment. We don't have an appraisal. We can show it the cost. Did they have MLS record sales on this? Because it should use itself as a comp then. I mean, if it's a
Yeah,
selling
that was
property,
one of the comps.
yeah, that's just what I said. If it's at 320, I just time adjust the property and call it good.
And you said that number was what?
It is 339, 200.
Okay.
I mean, that's your best tell is you had a free market sale, it sold, it was MLS. Does the MLS indicate if it's a arm's length transaction or distressed sale? That'd be my only other question.
If we included it as valid.
It's not a distressed sale then usually. So I would just say take it and then time adjust it, call it good.
So for the both parcels.
Both parcels together because they bought them together, so the total value, and we could split them up however, but the total value of between both parcels, because one parcel is listed at 373, and what's the other parcel listed at? 85? Yeah, you probably are a little,
All right, so, Mr. Chair, make a motion on parcel RPR 401-503-1600 and RPR 401-503-1400, that the combined value of the two properties be $339,200 to be split out proportionally based on,
may I make a friendly amendment?
please?
I would say the property that holds the manufactured house, that no value be assigned to the manufactured house right now, and the value be assigned to the property, and then the improvement in property of the other house. Does that make sense? Because if that manufactured's garbage, then there, the value's held in the land, and the value's held in the land and the improvement.
Okay.
We do that.
I will accept that friendly amendment.
We'll break it out here for you, Scott.
You want to repeat it for the record? Either one?
The property, I didn't have the property number with the house on it. That's what I was looking for. With the not garbage one. I would, so parcel number, here you go. This is the parcel number with the mobile home on it. It would be parcel number RPR 401-503-1400. That it not have any, that all the value be taken off of its improvement, and the others would be kept then. You'd keep the value in the land and the improvement on the other house.
So, just to be clear, the value on that one now becomes $62,039,
Because that's land, yep.
which is just the land, and then the rest of it is made up on the other parcel.
Yep, you keep the land the same on the other parcel and just prove it off the improvements on the other parcel.
Okay.
Okay. Now we have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Because in that way, when they go in and they revamp the house, we haven't messed with the land values, and the land values will not, because the land is land. And if they go in and then they fix up, and now you guys can go out and take a look at those houses, because I guarantee they're out there working on them. And
Okay.
there you go. And then next year, they can't come in and claim it.
The next one is Harbor.
Richard Sky Harbor.
And actually, in the description, there's not a lot there they're complaining about, in my opinion.
So, I don't really see, when I looked at this one last night, I didn't really see, especially once I saw the worksheet. Let me just make sure with the appraisal table, you guys had an adjusted value of $375,508. Once I saw that, I'm
Done. I mean, if that's the appraisals table's taken, I didn't see why it would be different.
And you're comparing all twin homes to all of them.
Yep.
Well, I wouldn't want a twin home.
You should see the twin homes up across from the temple right now, what they're selling for. They're selling more than most houses.
Any questions on this one?
No. Mr. Chairman, I move on parcel RPRES 0010000 that we uphold the
Suggested value of $375,508.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously.
Which one do you got next?
Ball. This one where it purchased. For 65,000.
March 18th.
Okay, hold on, I got a weird question about
Guys,
this.
purchase and sale agreement. Done deal.
Hmm.
3 months later, it's 89.
Hold on, this was one that I threw a flag in my head.
Any comments on this one?
So the thing that I have is this an arm's length transaction? Because it's a
That's what
family.
I was just looking at. Saw that name.
So, and the other problem is what? Okay, so that's a single lot is what that is.
Yeah, for two different bear lots, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so, okay, I thought, for some odd reason, I thought that was an acreage piece, but that's an internal city lot of a quarter. Okay, now, that would be, those lots up there, they haven't, do you have any other sales of those lots up there? They're starting to sell them, I've seen them listed. Have you recorded in that subdivision any other lots sold? I've heard all of the lots are sold.
I don't know that I've got any right off the top of my head.
So let me ask a
I'd have to
question
look
here.
and see. We did find that the 87,000 was too high
Okay.
with the sales we did pull up to compare with it, and so we lowered them to the 71,780.
Okay, that would,
Just
that
gonna
would,
say that.
yeah, that would be more in line, I'd be okay with that. That's the 80
They've
whatever.
already did a worksheet on it
It
this
was
year.
too high, and so
On
we
71.
No, if it's a 71, I'm okay with
780
that.
is what they have.
71.
780.
You wanna know that, Jeff?
Yep, on parcel RPRPRTC 001200, that we adjust the value to 71,780. And what's the other one?
One is 1300 and the other one's 1200.
Okay,
Yeah.
just did the 1200, so RPRPRTC 001300. And change the land value to the amount of 71,780.
We have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the next one is Angela. Let's see, nope, it's Howard and Mary Revocable Trust. Hundred-year-old house.
Hey,
Purchased property from my parents
Just not worth it.
around 1960. Added 3 bedrooms to accommodate joint families. I have no idea what market value would be since the house is in no way up to codes.
You know what? I wish there was a state law that said when you want to claim living condition or health and safety, okay, fine, we'll just condemn the house then.
yeah. Yeah.
Can't rent in it or live it until it's brought to health and safety standards. Property has no commercial value. I don't know if there would. Have you guys had a chance to inspect this property, or when was it last inspected?
I was just looking that up.
Well, there's two properties here, right?
Yep.
The one 3,900 on the end.
Where's this one
I
located
mean,
at?
that's $500. So what?
Right.
Oh, I
It's
remember
just
this
west of
house.
the-
I remember this
just outside
house.
city limits.
This is the house with the pool inside. This is the house with the
What'll
pool. Has a pool inside. Has a pool house.
Is that a
Yep.
positive or a negative?
Yep, I remember this house. This house has come multiple times before us.
It was last physically visited in 2019.
What was its condition then?
We had the condition in as average condition. It was kept up. There was no major repairs.
Yep, this is the house with the pool.
It was well taken care of, but it is an older house. We currently have it in, and I don't know how well you're familiar with the grades. We put it in as it's a grade 2,
Mm-hmm.
but there have been additions since then, so it's.
So this is the
I don't
house
know if you call it
up,
grade 2.
up Trail Creek. Now they're only showing the land of the trust for the house on it. They're not showing the land. I believe they own all the other contiguous land around it.
And there's, is
They
that
do,
this one
yeah.
here?
They have,
Well,
yeah,
that's only,
that's just the house, the property the house sits on.
okay.
And I'm pretty sure they're not challenging or bringing up, I think the last time they had it before us, it had several acres that were,
They got 19 acres of dry grass,
yep. Yep.
and then they,
So they're
Have an
showing this
acre with
little
the
tiny,
house.
this little tiny lot.
that's the 1 acre with the house,
Mhm.
Correct.
and then there's this
Another
little
one, the
piece
rural
that-
track, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, no, and that's why. So if they have, on the house, they also have 19 acres included in it, with the
Dry
1 acre
grass.
for the house. I would probably say the value should stand.
On both parcels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their second parcel is a tiny little sliver of a parcel on a private road they have.
But it allows access for the road.
It does.
So if you don't have that parcel, you can't access the road.
Motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move on parcels. Where did that go?
RPR
there you
385-303-0900 and RPR 385-302-8611. Take it away.
That we uphold the assessed values as presented.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, next we have Cornelison.
So just a point of clarification on a property like the one that we just had that shows 19 acres of dry land graze, what do we do to indicate that it is actually being used for grazing purposes? Have we required a receipt of production of $1,000 to be presented, and have we actually verified that there's been any?
With, do you want me to speak to it?
That's fine.
With properties over 5 acres, one of the things, if we observe them to appear that they may no longer be utilized for ag, we will actually check, and the first thing we check is, do we have an active ag application on file that's been approved? And depending on the type and however long those are good for, that's the first step. The next one is if we don't have anything, we reach out, and if they don't come back to us with anything, then we will typically pull those out of ag and put them to whatever the typically rural residential rate is for the area.
Well, I'll just tell you on that last one, you have a current satellite flyover that's open to public data of June 6, 2021, and there doesn't even look like there's animal paths worn where grazing cattle would have made water or
There isn't much up there.
There's nothing.
All over that.
There's nothing. And so I would probably make that as a property that your agricultural guy needs to go take a look at.
Because they'll appeal this, and then we'll just go to the next step.
Yeah, we're just gonna go anyway, so, yeah, that's their pool house right there.
All right, Cornelison.
Oh, I'm doing okay.
Hmm. Let's see here. Is this the funeral home? Is that what this is?
No, these are residential properties.
Residential properties. Oh, okay, so but it's the same family though, correct?
I don't know.
I
That's what
believe so,
It
yeah.
looks like. So I'll just disclose that there is a family relation with my wife.
So, the one ending in 800 has been at BOE in 19,
Mm-hmm.
20, every other year.
Mm-hmm.
Time to say no.
Was there any major structural issues with any three of these houses?
I was just looking at the notes here. On this one with 800, it looks like it was reviewed by Celeste, and there's no note of any structural damage, no. We have the grade, or the condition in as average. If there was anything major, they would have changed that as well. There's no notes on, no, any major structural damage.
So these are all used as income producing properties? Is what it looks like? Or they're just, there's no homeowner's exemption applied to any of these? I don't
As
see
far as
it.
homeowners,
I don't see
I'm not
homeowners
sure.
on any of them.
Okay,
yeah,
just checking.
I'm looking on my end and I don't see anything there.
Okay. That would just be a question is, because especially,
The one's just ground. And then we got 3.4 acres. I'm not saying that it's in the same neighborhood, but we
yeah,
just did the same with Hot
third
Chevy
one.
for,
yeah, I do the same thing.
it was 150, it's 128.
Do you have a recommendation?
I'm just leaving the same.
I mean,
Leave,
That's
go with the assessed value.
assessed with the assessors. So, no change.
Mr. Chair, on parcels RP, RPIN 2000800, RP, RPHAN 001200, and parcel RP, RRCIN 000401, make a motion that we uphold the assessor's value on all three.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye. Which one do you want to do next? Do
Transtrom is the last one.
you have Lance Johnson still? You do that one already?
We did that one.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I'm glad we did the last one.
Before
My eyes
this.
started to cross.
Your eyes are starting to cross, you having fun? Oh, so we have land, okay, this is his property's down on what, First Street or whatever there?
Sorry, I'm just looking it up here real quick. Yeah, 1561st Street, okay.
He got it at a
It's a
cheap
duplex?
price. We're just gonna get our
Okay.
money back.
Yeah, the lot, so this is one I remember from, we've dealt with this one before, that one lot is a weird, there's no buildable, it's too small to build something.
Next to it?
There's no lines, it's right next to the property, correct? It's,
Yeah, they're
yeah,
both touching, yeah.
yeah, so, okay, so, there's like a vacant lot. The property owner actually is the one that was mowing it and maintaining it, even though the county owned it, because it was such a weed trap
Okay.
in there. Yeah, it's right here is where it's at. He actually went through and cleaned it up, but you can't really put anything in there, and the land, I would probably say, the improvements and everything on the other parcel should probably stay. But I would probably, this weird parcel, like I said, they cut it up originally, and then it was lost at tax deed, and it's this weird,
Okay.
I don't know any other way to, I mean, they could use it as a parking lot, I guess.
So you want you uphold the improvements, but you're looking at changing.
Well, yeah, let me, I'm just,
their lot, right?
I'm just kicking this around because, yeah, the first one, which is just the land value, we set at 40 grand, and we bought it, and he bought it, I think it was
16.
16, it was the year he bought it. We assessed it at 40 and
16,000 is what he paid for.
Yeah, I would just leave that one at 16, but then the rental property, no, I'd let that one stand.
Okay.
Because the land we couldn't get, they had people try and buy it and they couldn't actually do anything with it. So they just kept letting it go back to, I think it went back to tax deed to
Okay.
What I'd really like is that one to be merge
Merge them together.
them together, because that would make it way easier, and it would actually probably allow them to do something with the property, because your standoffs are different then.
Okay.
So what value do you want to place on the
I would just
property?
put a 16 is what it sold. I mean, I don't know how you change. I don't know how you do anything with it because it doesn't. It
you're
has.
looking
That was the
at the
cost of the property is I think what they bought it for, but it doesn't have like a. It's not like a piece of property that you're going to go do something.
Well, he says market value should be 20,000 on this paper.
Put it 20,000 then.
I agree with the landowner.
Yep.
Okay.
And uphold the assessor's value on the other parcel.
That sounds like a motion to me.
I'll even make that then.
That's what it sounds like.
The parcel is RP0033100, adjust to $20,000, and 002900, uphold the assessor's value. Have a motion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
With that being said, we are